Where in the home is one to light the Chanukah menorah? By the window or by the doorpost? So it's recorded in the Gemara Masechah Shabbos Daf Chof Beis Amud Aleph, brought in the Mechaber Shulchanaruch chapter 671 Halacha 7, that it's a mitzvah for the candles to be placed within at least one tefach of the doorway, and as other places can bring, including the Alter Rebbe and the Siddur, that initially it's to be placed within the actual doorway between the doorposts. And as the Gemara there continues at brought in the Shulchan Aruch, that where in the doorpost should it be placed? It should be placed opposite the mezuzah, so while the mezuzah is always on the right side of the door, the menorah is placed on the left side of the door for the reason that one should be surrounded by mitzvahs. So it seems the answer to our question is pretty clear-cut answered. However, this is not so. As the above discussion in the Gemara in Shulchan Aruch is talking in those days where the custom was as the initial institution to light in the front door towards the outside, in which case we have that law light within the doorpost, or at least within a tefach of the doorpost opposite the mezuzah. However, today that we light inside the home, as we discussed in the previous halacha, perhaps the law is different. And perhaps rather one should light by the window. Why? As even though today we cannot fulfill the full sense of Persume Nisa in lighting outside, at the very least maybe one should light by a window that's viewable to the public and thereby publicize the nace even within your home. In other words, what advantage is greater? Is it greater to be surrounded by mitzvahs, and even when you light in your home to place the menorah within the doorpost opposite the mezuzah? Or is it greater to light in a way that you publicize the miracle to the public in expense of being surrounded by mitzvahs, and therefore one should light specifically by a window even though he will not be surrounded by mitzvahs and he will not be lighting opposite a mezuzah? So let's see what the poskim say regarding this issue. So we have a clear ruling in the Mechaber in Shulchan Aruch 671 Halacha 5 based on the Gemara in Shabbos, that those who even back then had to light inside their home, such as one who lives on an upstairs home or an apartment building not on the ground floor, in which he does not have a front entrance that opens to the outside to the public, which he can publicize the miracle by, then even back in the day, the halacha was that he had to light inside of his home. Where should he light? Says the Mechaber, based on the Gemara and Shabbos, by his window. At the very least, publicize the nace, the miracle, to the public through inside your home through the window. So we see the Mechaber clearly rules in the Shulchan Aruch that the idea of publicizing the miracle overrides the idea of being surrounded by a mitzvah. And even in a case that one can't light by the window, the Mechaber writes, simply light on your table and it suffices. So we see the Mechaber in Shulchan Aruch does not make any need of lighting inside the home opposite a mezuzah. And it's only relevant when you light outside. However, not all poskim agree with this ruling. Says the Ramah in Shulchan Aruch, chapter 671, Halacha 7, that the above law brought in the Mechaber, which describes how the menorah is to be lit when you're lighting outside, within a tefach, or l'chatchila even between the doorposts and opposite the mezuzah. This applies whether you're lighting outside the house or inside the house, and so is the minhag, says the Ramah. And even inside the home, one should light in a doorpost opposite the mezuzah to be surrounded by mitzvahs and not by a window. And he concludes that one is not to swerve from this custom. And as it evident from his ruling, the importance of being surrounded by mitzvahs overrides the importance of publicizing the nace. The opposite of the ruling of the Mechaber. This ruling of the Ramah is based on the Risha and the Oyel Maid and Shamayid Katan, is recorded in Sifrei Minhagim, Bnei Yisaschim, Mishmer Shalim, Lekutei Marich, and others. However, other Achreinim argue on this ruling of the Ramah and maintain the ruling of the Mechaber that no, you should light by your window. So rules the Magen Avram 671a, the Chaya Adam, the Mishnah Berurah, the Kaf HaChaim, the Igros Moshe. Rules unlike the Ramah and says the custom here today is to light by the window, unlike what the Ramah wrote, not to swerve from the custom of lighting by the doorpost even when lighting inside. So bottom line here, we have a machlekes amongst the poskim, where to light when you're lighting inside your home. Those who light by the window have upon whom to rely. Those who light by the doorpost have upon whom to rely. And practically the Chabad custom, as stated in Sefer HaMinhagim, Sefer HaSichos, and Igros Kodesh, and Lekutei Sichos, is to light within the doorpost opposite the mezuzah, as writes the Ramah. Now it's important to note that in certain circumstances, as we will explain, everyone agrees you should light by the doorpost inside your home and not by the window. Writes the Pri Chodesh, the Chaya Adam, and many other Achreinim, that if your window is above 20 amis from the ground where people walk, one is not to light by the window, and there's no publication to the public. The halacha is, as stated elsewhere, a Chanukah candle that's lit 20 amos above the ground is not yetze. If you're lighting by the window for the purpose of the outside and is 20 amos above the outside, then you can't light by a window. So you should specifically light, as writes the Ramah, within the doorpost, even if in general you follow the ruling of lighting by the window. So anyone who lives on a high-rise apartment building and you're close to 10 meters above the street level, you should not light by the window, you should light by the doorpost. Even if in general you light by a window. There is discussion amongst today's poskim whether other high-rise buildings that can see your menorah count for Persumei Nisa, but nonetheless, the conclusion is that in such a case it is best to focus on publicizing the miracle to your family rather than place it in a questionable area to the public.
Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at Shulchanaruchharav.com under the Daily Halacha Dedication section or in the subscription page. Also, check out our online courses and many sefarim available for purchase that will both enhance your Torah knowledge and help support our work.